She worked alongside legends like Naomi, Claudia, and Linda. Every spotlight in fashion shone on her. But when Karen Mulder finally spoke out, no one wanted to listen. This is what really happened to the supermodel who disappeared after telling the truth. The accidental beginning. Karen Mulder never planned to become a model. It all started by chance. Her friends sent her photo to a Look of the Year contest in the Netherlands, and she didn't think much of it. She never dreamed of a fashion career, but she won, and her life changed overnight. Soon, Karen was signed with Elite Model Management, one of the biggest modeling agencies back then. She was just a teenager, fresh out of school, when she moved to Paris and entered the dazzling world of high fashion. By 18, she was already posing for magazines like Vogue, Elle, and Marie Claire. She walked for famous designers like Valentino and Thierry Mugler, while most girls her age were still figuring out their lives. During those early years, she also got married young, to a photographer named René Bosny. The marriage didn't last long, as her life was moving too fast. She was being flown across Europe with just a few hours' notice. She always had to look perfect, graceful, thin, camera-ready, and thankful. Karen did it all quietly and elegantly, without showing how hard it really was. The rise of a supermodel. Karen had the look that fashion loved. Calm, still, and almost unreal. Photographers couldn't get enough of her. She was everywhere. Vogue Paris, Harper's Bazaar, and big brand campaigns. Her name rose quickly as the world started seeing models as celebrities, not just pretty faces. Naomi, Linda, Claudia, Christy, and Karen. She was one of the first Victoria's Secret angels and walked for top designers like Dior, Galliano, and Yves Saint Laurent. Her photos were everywhere you looked, but in interviews, Karen never acted like a superstar.
Spotlight or having your picture taken or being in interviews, it impresses people. Sometimes they go, wow, I don't know, I'm the same.
She spoke simply, sometimes with doubt in her voice. "I never thought I was pretty," she once said, showing a soft side that was so different from the cold, perfect image magazines created. People described her as distant and flawless, but Karen didn't see herself that way. She wasn't chasing fame. She showed up, did her job, and left quietly. That made her stand out. She wasn't in tabloids. She didn't go to wild parties, she wasn't trying to sell an image, she was just trying to survive in a world that wanted her to be perfect all the time. A quiet step back. Karen didn't have many close friends in the modeling world, except for Carla Bruni. Both of them liked keeping their lives private. Later, Carla left fashion and went into politics. Karen was also starting to step away. She began taking acting classes, recorded some music, and traveled alone. It was like she was looking for something real in her life. She didn't make any big announcement about leaving modeling. She just slowly started to disappear from the spotlight. For her, modeling wasn't about feeling strong or powerful. It felt like she was hiding behind a mask, pretending to be someone she wasn't. On the outside, she still looked perfect, but inside, she was falling apart. The televised breakdown. By the early 2000s, Karen wasn't seen on runways or magazine covers anymore. Most people thought she had just retired quietly. But in October 2001, she showed up on French national TV again. Not for a comeback, but for something shocking. She appeared on a popular talk show called Tout le monde en parle, watched by millions. But instead of sharing fun stories about modeling, she revealed something dark. Karen said she had been sexually abused during her career by powerful people in the modeling world. She said these men took advantage of her and stopped her every time she tried to speak out. Reports say that during the recording she even named names, including a top executive at Elite and another famous public figure. But the interview never aired. It was considered too controversial and disturbing. The channel decided to erase it completely. Just like that, her truth was silenced before anyone could hear it. The aftermath. Even though the interview never aired, Karen didn't stay quiet. She went to the police and gave a formal statement about the abuse she faced. Investigations were started, but nothing much came out in public. As she spoke up, the media turned against her. Headlines said things like "Supermodel cracks" and "Karen Mulder loses it." Instead of asking what happened to her, people just asked what was wrong with her. Not long after, in December 2002, she was taken to a psychiatric clinic in Paris after what seemed like an overdose. Her parents said she was admitted because a psychiatrist advised it, as she was having hallucinations and feeling paranoid. But again, no one asked why she was suffering. They just watched from afar. Then, in 2009, she was arrested in Paris for allegedly threatening a plastic surgeon to reverse a procedure she didn't like. The media made fun of her once again. No one cared about her struggles. Her pain just became another headline for people to gossip about. Erased from fashion's memory, after 2009, Karen almost completely disappeared. She stopped giving interviews. She stopped working. She seemed to vanish on purpose, stepping away from the public eye. But what's most shocking is how the fashion world reacted. It didn't react at all. Karen was one of the biggest supermodels of the 90s, but when people look back at that era, her name is rarely mentioned. Big fashion books celebrating supermodels often leave her out. She isn't quoted in fashion documentaries. She wasn't called back for brand campaigns that featured other icons from her time. Her friends and peers like Naomi, Claudia, and Linda were welcomed back with special comebacks. But Karen? There was only silence. One last walk. In 2007, Karen came back to the runway for a short moment. She walked in John Galliano's Dior Fall Show in Paris for the brand's 60th anniversary. But she didn't give any interviews. She didn't stay backstage to talk. She just walked the runway and then disappeared again. That same year, a quiet French documentary showed her living a peaceful, hidden life. She was doing yoga, raising her daughter, and staying away from the spotlight. It seemed like she no longer wanted to explain herself to anyone. She had already tried once to tell her story, and no one believed her. A story left untold. Karen Mulder's story didn't end with some big scandal or a shiny comeback. It ended with her stepping away from it all. Not because she was weak, but because she was done. The fashion world that once praised her completely shut her out. The same people who loved her beauty ignored her pain. She wasn't just forgotten, she was erased because she told the truth too clearly and too soon. Years later, other models started speaking up too. Many shared stories of abuse in the industry. Even Gérald Marie, Karen's old agent, faced serious allegations from different women. Now, the world is finally starting to listen. But Karen spoke up first, and no one listened back then. She never turned her pain into a brand. She didn't write a book or try to get back into the spotlight. She just walked away. These days, she's sometimes seen in the south of France, doing yoga and living quietly, far from cameras and attention. And maybe that's exactly how she wants it.